All right, we're going to try something new. I think I have a way of mounting this camera. If it all goes to heck, don't blame me. I'll put this down here. I want to tell you, no matter what I do, I am so looking forward to drive my Golf R, man. I'll look for excuses to drive. All right. I don't want to touch the leather because everything you touch goes to crap. I'm going to only wear gloves. And you might think it's a little pretentious, but hey, this is what it's going to be like. This does not hurt anything. Your sweat on your hands, the oils that you have, all these buttons get worn to a nub. I'm going to not do it. I mean, I may grow out of it, but I've got better gloves than these. These are a little bit big, and these are actually driving gloves, but I'm getting like ones that the police use. They're real thin, and they just go over my... I was going to get a medium in these, and I bet you these would fit a little better. But they're not that bad. But they're kind of... The new ones have air holes. You'll see. Okay, so here we go. This is the startup procedure. You sit here. I'm going to put my seatbelt on because we have to do it anyway. And snap in here. By the way, guess where I get these from? My glove box. It already has a name. All right, so put foot on the brake, foot on the clutch, and engage. Just press the start button. Starts up. Got the digital cockpit. See all that? I'm not, so I can just sit here and relax. I'm riding in normal mode, so I've got 26.7 miles per gallon, which is pretty good. I might be refined today and put the AC on just for your comfort so that you can hear me better. Because what happens is you won't hear me, and it'll be too loud when we get going. On a normal day, I do not use the air conditioner. I'm used to it, and I'm fine. It comes on really strong, like almost like a home unit. And once it starts cooling it down, it like cycles. It actually is like automatically controlled by temperature. You push down into the front, to the left, almost like first gear, but you push down, and that's how you go into reverse. I disengaged the brake already. And we're rolling now, man. I got a reverse camera I'm looking at. I can see real good. It shows you the wheels turn because that's the way we're aiming. Going to first. I want to tell you, this car is great. Don't believe what the naysayers say or anybody. Drive it for yourself. You'll find out. I'll tell you what I did. Yesterday, I drove in comfort mode for the first time. You know that it drove like a Cadillac? It drove like a freaking Cadillac. And that's why it's called comfort. It even shows the road going like real squishy. What it is when you put it in comfort mode, the suspension is very soft. So the car actually bounces like this. You know how now we just stay firm like we're doing? So when you're in comfort mode, the car rolls. It's not good for performance, but it's good for comfort. And I want to tell you, I'll just say it's like a Cadillac. You may as well, because people know what I mean when I say that. It was very comfortable. That's why it's called the name, comfort mode. Okay? If I push the mode right now, you'll see I got to turn this on. Okay, I'm in normal mode. I went into accidentally to... I'm going to turn my infotainment system on in a second here. Let me just get going. I'm going to have to mute the sound because it might have music on. I am broken in, by the way. I'm 1,050 miles. I'm not going full speed, but I can. But I'm going to just slowly get up to that. I'm going definitely higher revving. After I went up to 700, I went to like 4,000 RPM before I shifted. Whereas up until then, I'm going between 2,000 and 3,000, just to be gentle with it. And now I'm actually 1,050 miles, so I can actually go full speed. But I've not like taken it to the limit yet, and I've not gone to the red line yet. But that's all in due time. I'm still kind of treating it like it's breaking in still. The shifting's getting better for me. I haven't had a shift car in a while. And it's very fun to do. But you're rowing through these gears, baby. There's 6 gears. So you are... It's like row, row, row your golf gently down the street. Yeah, back in third. I mean, the steering is actually quite nice in normal mode. So I say what comfort is, if you really you're carrying your mother-in-law along, or your very own dear precious sweet mother, and she doesn't want to feel like she's in a race car. She wants to just feel comfort. You put it in comfort mode, you hit the bumps, the car just stays smooth, and it absorbs a bump. I would say normal mode is, consider it sport. Because what is normal mode for a Golf R? This is a Golf R, it's a performance model. So the people that give reviews of this car say, oh, it's so stiff in normal mode. Yeah, because normal mode, we're a performance model. This is not, it's not normal to be comfort. It's actually abnormal to be in comfort mode. They should call it abnormal mode to be comfort. Normal mode, consider it as sport. Because right now I'm in normal mode. You don't have the body roll. You'll see the car. When I was in comfort mode, I should do it while we're driving. When I get to a road like when I'm closer to home, I'm going to show you. But you'll see the front of the car dip down. I'm like, what the heck? It's like bouncing. So comfort mode really makes everything loose and soft in your suspension and everything. And you don't feel the bumps as harshly. When you have it in normal mode like I have it, I'm going to turn this down too. See, now I got my performance monitor on. I got my kilowatts, which basically I figured out it's basically European for horsepower. It's the amount of power the engine's doing based on kilowatts. So that's what that is. Okay, I'm in first. Let's give it a little bit of something. I'm in third. We're going to slap it to fourth, which is straight down. And then we're going to enjoy fourth because fourth is my favorite gear. Fourth, you can probably go to 90 miles an hour. It's the best gear, is fourth. So when you make it to fourth, I think that's all you need to be in. Unless you're on a track. When I get on the highway, I go to fifth. Actually, when I go up to here, we're going to go into fifth and sixth. But all I'm doing it for is for gas consumption. I'm not doing it for... Right now, I like the feel of fourth. If I hit it... Feel that? Did you hear that? That's in normal mode. We took off, baby. I was going up to 60 just like that in about 1 second. So, fourth gear is awesome. You can like tool around town in fourth gear. And if you want to go faster, like you get above 50, then go into fifth gear. I've kind of learned that from the motorcycle and everything. It might not be the exact gear ratios, but in your mind, if you think about it, in your mind, you know, 1 to 20 is first to second. 20 to 30 is third. Think of 30 miles an hour is third gear, 40 miles an hour is fifth gear, or fourth gear, 50 miles an hour is fifth gear, and 60 and above is sixth gear. And that's a general rule I follow, like on the motorcycle and everything. And it's kind of true. But we don't need to be in fifth gear unless you want to just save fuel. If you want that quick takeoff, you want to stay in fourth, I think, until you're sure that you're going to just level off. If I'm sure I'm going fast for a long time, I'll go into fifth and then into sixth. And I just cruise. You know, you want to not use that much fuel. You're not trying to beat anybody. You're not trying to zoom around anybody. You're just maintaining a good speed. Then you just go in sixth. So right now we're in regular mode and it's not yellow. So what we'll do is we'll hit the performance monitor. It's now, we're going to go to race mode. You may have not heard that or felt it, but there's a little flap that opens when you do that and it gets deeper. So instead of it being like quiet, it goes like that. It opens up. You have to be in person to appreciate it, or have the windows open, and you would hear the change. And it's louder. You probably can hear it, actually. It sounds like I'm revving more. I'm not. It's because the exhaust is louder. So we're now into race mode. Now in race mode, everything is that much stiffer. So we will not have any body roll. We are very stiff. People might call it a harsh ride. It's a performance ride. Your car is going to glide on the road, and you're going to feel the surface of the road as you drive. And your steering is also now going to be more acute. So the least amount of time I turn or actuate this wheel, I will turn more. So race mode, sport mode is normal mode. That's what I call it. Normal mode is considered like regular sport mode. And when you go into race mode, it's the highest performance level of this car you want to drive in. So it's really fit for the track. That's why we have the lap times you can keep. You can have fun with that. You can even do it on a circuit that you know you're going to go check the mail. How long is it taking me if I go this way? How long is it taking? You can do laps and see how much better you can get by taking different ways to work or whatever. Because it'll take the lap as long as you can do. And it stores it. You can even do split times to where if you do the same route again and you pass it up, it'll do a split time for you. Okay, let me put it, let's just start going here. This guy's probably turning too. It's a weird road where normally that lane would go, what do you call it? I don't think so, buddy. I don't think so. The guy thought he was going to pass a Golf R, man. Really? Not if my life depended on it, man. I'm in 4th gear. We're going to go to 5th because now we're on a faster road. Did you hear the exhaust? The exhaust was really punchy, man. It makes like a beautiful rumble noise. Just beautiful. That's why I'm probably never going to get an exhaust with this car. It's already set up. If I did, it'd have to be a fancy exhaust that's made just for my car. It would have that flap open and close. I love this one. So I think what I'm going to do is be happy being stage 1. Let's hit it again because this is a fast road. Watch. You ready? It's a minivan. Our nemesis. We're going to go to 4,000 RPMs. Use the brakes a little. I'm trying to clear off my rotors. See, now I'm only in 5th gear still. All that racing, I still may have made it to 6th. I could be in 6th now if I wanted to. But 5th has a little bit more punch. Unless you're going faster, right? Here we go. We'll go to 6th. Because 6th will actually pick us up a little bit. Man, does it sound good. Man, that's what the windows close, people. I've heard people say there's an artificial sound coming in here. I gotta find out what they're talking about. Is it just the normal sound of the engine being piped into my cabin? That's not artificial. If it's the sound of the engine being piped into my cabin, I like it. I like it. I'll see how my mirror, you can't see it, but it lit up because there's a car there. That's a safety feature that I didn't have on my GTI. It's a blind spot monitor. So if someone's right there in that lane and you're trying to get into it, it warns you that you shouldn't take, you don't go over there, there's a car there. It knows it. Man. Now we can't go as fast because we're among the losers of life that just drive around. I've had a person tell me that a car is just something to get from point A to point B. If you ever are sitting with a conversation with anybody, a girl or anyone, and they tell you that a car just gets them from point A to point B, be very nice, get up from the table, and never speak to that person again. Walk away from them as fast as you can, and don't have them in your life. Because that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. A car is probably the most important thing in your life. You're going to spend a great portion of your life in your car. If they can say a person pees like a certain percentage, like 7 years of their life, when you add it all up to in the end of your life, you're going to probably pee a decade of your life is spent peeing, you know. And sleeping, we sleep a third of our life. And believe me, driving to and from work, even if that's all you did, you're spending years and years and years of your existence behind the wheel. If you drive professionally like I do, I drive professionally. So I'm driving sometimes 15 hours a day. So a vehicle is more than getting from point A to point B. It's an absurd statement to make. That a car means nothing to them. And they have a right to feel that way, but I don't have any desire to be with anybody like that or talk to anybody like that. And they won't get it. They will not get it. These are the people that they'll... Do you ever have someone tell you, it's just a car? It's just a car, man. It's a car, man. It's got 4 wheels, the tires, and the steering wheel. Yeah, that's why it's just a car. That's why there's all kinds of different cars you can buy. That's why there's all different styles of cars you can buy. These are the same people, if they had the right, or if they gain power over us as like politicians or something, they would make everybody buy the same car. And we'd all drive around and we'd go 20 miles an hour based on the computer or something. I'm going to go down to 3rd, I think. Listen to that, man. Open the window. I want to tell you, man, and with my statement out the back, they're not artificial. Don't let anybody tell you. They're not artificial. I have 4 exhaust pipes, baby. They are 4 individual exhaust pipes. Even the Porsche sometimes looks like it has 4, and it has like 1 that spreads into 2. Mine are 2 separate nozzles on each side coming out from a pipe that's separate. So they are real quad exhaust. It's not fake. There's nothing in German cars that are fake, by the way. American cars, if that's what you're used to, that's what you're used to. American cars are notorious for having fake stuff in cars. Like the Mustang with the fake air brake, whatever you call it, the vent for the air. They're always fake unless someone tricks it out. The fake hood scoop, isn't that the most ridiculous thing? If you're driving a car that has a fake hood scoop, well, I don't want to put you down. You have a right to be in a car with a fake hood scoop. But tell me what is that for? Everything in my car has a purpose. And everything in a German car has a purpose. You'll never see a German car have something like, what's that there for? Just for looks? No. No, it serves a purpose. If there's an air vent, it needs to be there. If it's an air hole for the intake, it needs to be there. I think I have one for my intercooler right here. Did you see that in one of my videos? Where the fog lamps normally would be, for the Golf R, they're like fog lamps are for the weak. We have air holes, we have air vents to cool down the intercooler. That's what we have. So that's what the Golf R has. It has a way for the air to come in to the engine and help cool down your system. The general rule is you don't follow a truck, right? But I'm going to stay behind this truck because the cars are so long in that lane. We might not even make the light. And once we get around here, we can sort ourselves out. When you're in a Golf R, you can sort yourself out. Hey, it's working. I hope that works. Well, sorry for going on and on. I just thought I'd give you a rundown of some of the things, like the starting of the car, the driving of the car. It is so fun to drive. The Golf R is perhaps the best vehicle for me in the world. What's nice is it's really like my GTI. It almost has similar feel. The steering wheel and the look and the way it drives and handles is very much just like my GTI. It just has that much more to make it even a far superior car. I mean, you got all leather seats. These are the real deal Holyfield bolsters. I mean, these are really great seats. And I could be wrong, but in the old days, Recaro makes them for Volkswagen, and I doubt that they would get someone new because they're one of the best in the world. I can't find definitively if it's still Recaro that makes them. I would not be surprised if these are Recaro stock. They're Recaro, and if you try to buy these replacements, they get them from Recaro. So that's why they're great seats as well. This seat can be adjusted electronically. There's nothing cheap in the Golf R. I listened to a guy the other day. He goes, I'm not too impressed with the Golf R. I don't know what car you're in. He's probably like a multi-millionaire, and he drives around in like a Bentley or something. But this is a great, great car. The amenities in here are top quality. The dashboard is that nice, spongy, strong, quality rubber. It's not plastic, cheap, chip away stuff that you have in a cheap car. Everything's leather. Everywhere I look is leather. Real leather. How many cows were killed to make this car? A lot. And yeah, the seat is top quality. It's all electronic. It's heated. I probably don't need the heat because I live in Florida. But on very cold days, I could probably warm my buns if I want to. I haven't even found out how that works. It might be automatic for all I know. See, my plan worked. You want to make the light first. We can put up with a slow truck. Yeah, there's a car there, so I'm gonna wait. See my little lights on because the car's there. As soon as he passes, I'm good to go. Good. It's a Mazda. It looks like it's trying to be tricked out, but I don't think it really is the fast one. The Mazda Speed is the fast one. It does have 2 exhaust pipes. Yeah, I'm glad to be behind him. When I see something like that means I like to drive fast. So I'm going to like push him a little bit. He'll go fast. What's good about this is he's going fast in front of you. Look at that. He's taking off. Here we go, baby. And then what you got now is a runner. I call them runners. You stay behind him, he's the first one to go through. He's the first one to get nabbed if something happens. Right now, I can back off pretty quick. We're leaving the rest of the losers in the back, man. They're gone. They're still at the light, looking at the scenery. They're actually not even passing the truck. What is wrong with those people? They're driving side by side with that semi truck, and he's not necessarily slow. He just doesn't get up to speed quick. Yeah, if I wanted to, I could go in here with my gauges, and I can go through. I like having the, oh, that's the water temperature, which I have up here anyway. I got my G-force already there. The PSI is already there. I'll do oil temperature. It's 221 degrees Fahrenheit. I've been finding that people are respecting this vehicle more than you would think. It's like they know that you're going to go fast, so they just wait for you to go fast. The ones that might buck the trend is if there's somebody in a fast car, they want to prove that they're faster than you, then they'll try. And I don't challenge people like that. But in many cases, you can beat everybody. If you're next to a Dodge Challenger, he's going to win, especially if it's the supercharger. But we're respectable. I think I can go 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. I'd have to shift like a pro though, which I don't think I'm up to that level yet. I've got to get really familiar with the shifting to be able to do that. Like I said, I have to stretch out these gears probably too and find out what the limit is for each gear. I really like to go through first and second as quick as I can. And then I'm into third for a little bit, but then when I get into fourth, I just stay in fourth. Fourth seems to be the best gear. It just goes and goes and goes, and it has the power in it, pulls. So I'm in third right now, and you can tell it's like an intermediate gear. You get the fourth, look. It's just not even struggling, and you're climbing like nobody's business. So this is what they call race mode, and it's probably the best mode to drive in if you're in a Golf R. There's another mode called Eco mode. So actually there's 5 modes of driving in the Golf R. You have Eco mode, which I've not even tried yet. I think it would make everything less performing because it's going to be really with an eye to saving fuel and being, you know, very conservative on fuel. So your power is not going to be strong, and I think it's going to be more eco-friendly that way. And then you got, like I said, there's comfort mode, which I went over. Think of that as Cadillac mode. The car takes bumps so gently. You could go over a big bump and you'll feel it, but it won't be harsh. It won't be stiff. It just kind of takes the bump and you keep going. So I call that comfort mode's Cadillac mode. If you want someone just to be totally comfortable while you're driving, like I said, if your mom's on board, you don't want to scare her or have her. You want her to have a nice, comfortable time. Here we go. Fifth gear, baby. We're going to go to 6th. And this car just wants to go and go and go, man. It wants to go and go. It's like it's come to life. So here's my thinking, folks. I'm not going to go crazy. This is going to be a sleeper car. It's going to blend in, but it's going to be fast. And I think I'm going to be happy with stage 1 plus. I think I'm going to go Unitronic, and that's what I need is a cold air intake, which is $700. Okay, I want to get the best one. I want to get the one that has like that Ram jet that has the Ram intake. It's bigger, not just a little area like the stock one. It's going to be twice as wide. So I'm going to get the bigger one from Unitronic. I think it's $700. Maybe I can get it on sale. So that's, I'm saving for that. And then once you get that, that just bolts on, okay? Easy peasy. I'm going to opt, why it's stage 1 plus is you get a turbo inlet elbow. So it's a turbo inlet pipe. It's like an elbow. It's $149. That's nothing. Why not get that? If you're going to spend $700 for the intake, spend another $149 for that. And what that enables you to do is those two simple components that are easy to put on, and it's made of aluminum. I think my stock one is plastic under there, which most things are in certain areas. So the new one will be aluminum, and it'll be a little bit bigger, so more air flows for the turbo. And then those two things together is all you need for stage 1 plus, right? They reflash your software, okay? Guess what I'll be? You're gonna not believe this. For relatively very little money, okay? I'm gonna climb from, in America they call this 288 horsepower, but I know that it's closer to 300, but maybe they actually do water it down to close to 288. But the 2019 model is, okay? So it's near 300. But basically, here's what happens. Stage 1 plus, cold air intake, turbo inlet, reflash the software, 380 horsepower. 380 horsepower, man! I mean, and that will be just perfect, I think, for this car. And I think you'll be, my power to weight ratio, near 400 horsepower is awesome. And I think it'll be a dramatic improvement too. Like I said, it's just broken in now, so I'm starting to take liberty with it a little bit. And we're starting to drive it a little more like a normal car. We're not driving at varying speeds. I'm trying to go through the gears a little more aggressively. And I'm letting it live, man. I'm letting it live and breathe and move. I'm going to have to get over, because we want to go down this other road. Maybe you can hear it. When we get down to the back road, when I get closer to home, I'm going to put it in comfort mode. And I want to see if you can see the difference of how the car moves around more. But it's because it's comfortable. It's taking the bumps. If you ever look at the old Cadillacs and stuff, don't they sway and bob and roll? Okay, the Cadillac was known as one of the most comfortable vehicles for lazy fat Americans for a long time. Not the Cadillacs of today. I'm talking about like when I was a kid. It drove like a boat. I mean, it would like float down the road and bounce along. You didn't feel bumps. You would just go over bumps and it would just go, you wouldn't even feel it. That's what comfort mode does. Near as I can put it together. Because I can see the front of my car going like this. It's like going down the road like that. Woo! We just made that lane. Here we go. Let's start with this one out. Remember, this is with the AC on too. So you sacrifice a few horsepower when you ride with AC on. That's another reason why I don't like using AC. But if I had the windows open, you couldn't even hear me. They say you should drive with your hands at 3 and 9, which I normally try to. If I get casual, I kind of go down here. I usually stay like this, especially if I'm really concentrated. I'll stay at 3 and 9. And the reason that is, it's not only for your control, it's for this airbag. If it deploys, you'll break a finger or two if you're driving like this or like that. You want to keep your hands off to the side. Let's see if I can look at my steering wheel and see if it turns. There was a car there. I didn't want to just try it with him there. I mean, he's there, not there. But here, I'm just going to casually let it go. Watch my steering wheel. Watch. I'm going to let it go over here. Stayed within the line, man. When we get on another road, I'm going to do it. It's freaky, man. You'll see the steering wheel actually turn. I got a call coming in.